Pleasure mine.
Congratulations on the film, Ferdinand. You've been in the ice before, the snow, past some years on the snow and ice. Then you moved on, went back to Brazil, to your country, and with the Rio films. What made you decide on doing Ferdinand next? Was this always the plan, or did it came up? I mean, why do Ferdinand next?
It came up like I was still working on Rio, and I was developing a story about a bull, and then when I came up on the property, I read the story and I fell in love with, and we were able to get the rights, which was great. And when we got the rights to do the story, talking to the, because the book was written in 1936, so it was a long time ago. So the writer is not alive anymore. So the family, talking to the family, and we had, what got me doing it is the fact that they allowed me to make the movie that I want to make. Okay. And I told them I will be very respectful of the story, I'll be inspired by it, but I'm going to make a bigger movie. So I want to make Ferdinand much bigger. So I love the character, I love the story, I love the world of Spain.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I love it.
It must be like inspiring, like the setting, the history.
Always,
and the food and everything.
It's like Rio, like in a way. Like I'm from Rio, so I wanted to bring that world into the screen, and then I fell in love with Spain, and I wanted that to happen as well. I wanted to be as true as I could to the place that I decided to take my movie to, and make it like as beautiful, as interesting as I did with my other ones.
It's a great sandbox for like food, culture, music.
Everything. It's such a beautiful, inspiring country.
So from what we've seen so far, we can assume the journey of Ferdinand, the main character. But on your own words, what's the most important thing for you about the film, the story of the characters? Can you talk a little bit about that? What attracted you to do that?
I think it was the message more than anything, because the message is it's like, don't judge a book by its cover, and it's a message that even though it was kind of like written back in the days, it's still more than ever. More than ever, it's a very, so I said, like, I have to tell that story. I think that's a good message to put out there in a movie. And when I make a movie, it's more of a question, like, when I decide, I like the story, but do I have to tell the story? That's the question I ask myself. And then when I saw this, I said, I have to make that movie. I have to make that message. I think it's right to do it, and it's the right time to do it.
Yeah, it's a segue to that. I was going to ask you about that. It's really relevant to what we're, like, society right now we're living through. Was this always really important to you? That you just told me that you wanted to tell the story because mainly for that. But I mean, in what ways do you implement those things? Don't judge by a book by its cover, tolerance, bullying, what we're going through in society in the film, like with the characters.
Yeah, it's always done through the characters. Like the Ferdinand is the example of it. Is the big bull, the gentle giant. Is the big bull that people perceive as being ferocious with the horns and all that. And then actually, but he's gentle, so he's being judged for something that he's not. And I think that has so many parallels to our everyday. And more than ever, like when I started to work with this movie maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and so every year that I started to work on it, more and more that message became more relevant and more important. So now it's coming out in the, more than ever, I think this movie needs to be out. But I think we do it in a gentle way, though. Like we do it, it's like I have children, and this is the conversation we have with them. It's like when you go to school, if the kids bully you for doing something, like just like, you have to move away from it. You have to just don't be bothered by that. Be true to yourself. If you're happy with who you are, you don't need anything else.
Yeah, becoming who you are.
Become who you are. So that's the journey. That's what we want to pass to the kids.
And let's talk about the cast. It's an eclectic bunch. First off, John Cena, perfect casting for Ferdinand.
I know.
I'm going to go through some of the names in the cast.
Sure.
Can you tell me something that you love that they bring to the movie? The story and your experience working with them. So John Cena.
Well, he is Ferdinand. Like that's as simple as that. That's simple. Like the guy's gigantic, but like you never seen anybody with a gentler heart than he is. Sweetheart, like gentle, honest. I wanted somebody that has an honest voice. Somebody that really felt, that the character could come to life with that. And he has that. He's naturally. He doesn't need to do anything with it. He is Ferdinand.
And how about Kate McKinnon?
Kate is funny. Like she's just plain simple funny. Like her dry humor, the way that she deals with it, like her sarcasm, the way that she's a perfect contrast to Ferdinand, and she's naturally funny. Like I give her a line, and she makes that line 10 times funnier.
And how about Gina Rodriguez?
Well, Gina is feisty. I like her personality. Like she's kind of like the big sister kind of idea. You know, she has a great energy. She's like every session that we had with her, she's like she loves it. She wants to do it, and I love that energy. She's great.
And although he's not an actor in the film, or maybe he has a character.
David.
No, Juanes.
Oh, Juanes as well. Yeah.
Very famous.
Well, Juanes has a smaller role in the story. Like he's the father of Nina, which is the who takes care of Ferdinand. And he is, he has that warmth, his accent, and the warmth, the way that he talks. I think it felt very much like fatherly, and I really like that. And also, he's a very collaborator to the story, not only with his voice, but also with music. So we're very excited that he could be a part of it and help us bring a right, vibe and energy to this, to the story.
I know your career has so far been based on animation.
Yep.
Have you gotten the itch to maybe try some live action in the future?
Yeah, definitely.
What kind of genre would you be interested in tackling?
I've been working with many different genres. I love sci-fi, so I love sci-fi. Like my favorite movie is Blade Runner. Ooh. So there you go. I'm not doing Blade Runner, unfortunately. No. But I really would love to make a movie. But also I love hybrids. Nowadays you can do animation and live action. There's a big market. But I like to challenge myself. Ferdinand is a big challenge for me. Like even though it's my 7th animated movie, like it's something that I really feel always challenged and energized by. So I'm looking around. We'll see what happens.
Any plans on going back to Ice Age or Rio?
Right now, no. Of course.
I have a pitch for you.
Oh, you do?
I have
Good.
2 little girls.
I have to kill you after that because I don't have the rights.
No, that doesn't matter. We came up with this: ditch the Ice Age and the Rios, and then do a movie about in Puerto Rico. So you go to Puerto Rico, you should, and do a movie about the Puerto Rican coqui.
What is a coqui?
A small frog. It has a unique.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you take it out.
It's the only place that has that different. Is it as a symbol? Is that the? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it has a high pitch at night. Coqui. So you can do a movie about that. So there you go.
Yeah, maybe at the end of Ferdinand, coqui.
Put it in the film.
Good. Make a short movie there.
Yes.
Thank you. Gracias.